What's up, it's L.Dre. Today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite topic, and that is shmoney, schmeckles, bucks, cheddar, chicken, Benjamins, dollars, blue cheese, money, man. There's so many words for it. Here are 5 proven ways to make money as a music producer right now at this very moment. And when I say proven, I mean these are literally my top 5 streams of revenue that I currently make right now and that I have been making over the past couple years, because I have been fortunate enough to make a good amount of money in music, and I was broke like 3 years ago. So without further ado, let's get into number 1. So number 1 is streaming. So for the most part, my main source of income has been streaming royalties. So that's all my music on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, whatever it may be. And you may hear some discouragement when you're trying to get into this, because they do pay very little per stream, but I've been fortunate enough to get so many streams that the tiny amounts add up, you know what I'm saying? And how did I do this? How did I get to this level? Well, it's a mixture of consistency, hard work, and a little bit of luck. So I talked about my come up story and exactly kind of how I got to where I am in this video right here about how I fell off. But long story short, I was posting music related content on Instagram for years and started building up a following. And then TikTok came around, and as some of you may know, I went viral a bunch of times on TikTok with a bunch of different songs. And all those songs, whether it be a remix or like a lo-fi instrumental, I would always upload the instrumentals to Spotify, and that's kind of how I started building a following and building up this catalog of music. At this point, I have so much music in so many different playlists, whether it's editorial, algorithmic, or personal playlists, people just saving my songs, that I pretty much can just maintain a decent living. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, but right now I'm kind of coasting the middle. And again, I mostly do like lo-fi hip-hop instrumentals, which is a very easy, listenable, playlistable kind of genre, but that's not the only way to do it. You can upload any types of instrumentals as a producer, or just music for anybody who's watching this as an artist. But as long as you can connect it to some kind of viral content, put yourself out there on TikTok, whether it's remixes or just sampling certain things, as long as you have a decent marketing plan and you're on all the social media platforms, you can start driving traffic to your Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you want. Now let's move on to number 2, which is brand deals / YouTube. But I just want to say overall content creation. Once you start building a following on all these different platforms, eventually brands will start reaching out. The more subscribers, followers, views you get, that's the more that these companies will pay you. And this is a decent chunk of my revenue as a producer. But again, this also relies on you being consistent, creating content, and all that kind of stuff. As some of you may know, when I first popped off with that Disneyland video where I sampled sounds at Disneyland and it went super viral on Twitter, right after that, the car company Honda reached out to me out of nowhere, and they paid me like $6,000 to go to their dealership and sample sounds around the cars and make these little holiday jingle lo-fi beats. And then right after that, like right off of the buzz of that same Disneyland video, Samsung reached out to me, flew me out to CES in Vegas, paid for the hotel and everything, and they paid me like $9,000 just to do a similar thing. I went around, I was a big time influencer, bro. I had to post Instagram stories, tweets, and a YouTube video, and I sampled some sounds around the Samsung exhibit or whatever, which was a great experience because I've always wanted to go to CES. I'm a tech nerd. Shout out to my guys out there, MKBHD and all that. And also to note, at that time, I didn't have like an agent or a manager or any negotiation skills or anything like that. So pretty much they just kind of asked, yo, what's the budget, what's the price? And I just gave them the numbers out of thin air almost. But that being said, both of those opportunities just came from that one video that I happened to post on Twitter, which by the way, I wasn't even gonna post on Twitter. Like, it was for TikTok, but hey, and that's not even from YouTube. Once you start getting a certain amount of views and subscribers, you get paid off of YouTube ads directly from YouTube. Now for me, that's probably one of my lowest streams of income, but it's there. And then also as a producer, you know, there's plug-in companies, different types of music companies that will reach out and pay you to promote their products for them. And honestly, you don't even have to be like a huge top level YouTube producer. Like, as long as you have a community of people, a few hundred, like a few thousand views, you can still make these companies money, and they know that, and they'll pay you for that. Which brings me to number 3, making your own products. So once these brands are hitting you up and you realize you're making them money, it's gonna click into your head like, huh, if I can make them money, why can't I make myself money? And that's when producers start to make their own products like sample packs or plugins. You got legends in the game like Decap with his Drums That Knock series, making the big bucks. You got bigger YouTubers like Simon Servita, Cal Beats. Simon Servita has a plugin, he has a chorus, and he has sample packs. Whatever it may be, consultations, anything. As long as you got a group of people that trust you and you have knowledge to give, value to share, you can start selling your own products. And again, for me, this isn't even a high priority revenue stream for me. But that being said, my L.Dre drum kit series does do very well for me when I drop it. But when I'm not dropping that, I mean, to be honest though, my website, prodbyeldre.com, it brings in at least $1,000 to $2,000 a month without me really having to drop anything new. It's kind of just like all the YouTube videos I have promoting sample packs on the website, just kind of all trickles. And now I have this somewhat passive income that, you know, I drop new stuff, make a little cheddar here and there, but it's still nice to have. So imagine if I dedicated my time to this and this was my top priority. The possibilities are endless. On that note, let's go to number 4. Sync licensing. Sync licensing, if you don't know what it is, it's pretty much just getting your music in like TV, movies, and commercials and stuff like that. I've done some work for like commercials, TikTok, social media ads, and stuff like that. And with this, there's a huge range of like how the payment goes. Like you can go from being paid really low to being paid like a really fat check. Because I know for me, for transparency's sake, I've been paid anywhere from like $1,800 to $15,000 for a certain project. And for me, this is kind of like a back of the mind, if the opportunities come, they come type of situation. So imagine if you were someone who dedicated your entire life to this line of work, I'm sure you could be making some big bucks. And that brings us to number 5. I saved this one because it could be a little controversial, but number 5 is NFTs. So the reason why I saved this for the end is because the NFT space is super new. It's really confusing for a lot of people. There's a high barrier to entry because you kind of have to know what you're doing. You can easily get scammed. There's a lot of cons to it, but the pros are very high as well. So a little backstory. Earlier this year, I started a music/art NFT project with my guy Cody A. Banks called Lo-Fi Guys. So we built a really cool community, really cool project. In the first couple of months, we've nearly made $500,000, which is like insane, bro. Like I'm telling you, insane. So but the reason why I put it low on the list, even though like it's made me more money than like anything else I've ever done in such a short period of time, is because it's not easy to get into. Like I would just want to give a huge shout out to my guy Cody. Like the art for this is really fire and eye-catching, and you know, I just kind of have a know-how with like marketing or whatever it may be, so we ended up building something really cool together. But that being said, it almost all kind of relies upon the Web3 culture, which is kind of like, it's more of a like investing space where it's kind of like you got day trader type people, and you know, a lot of FOMO, and everything you do in that space is based on how the market's doing. So back when we made the most of the money, when everything was super fun and going crazy, was when Ethereum, which is the cryptocurrency that the NFTs are made on, it was high. It was like almost at its peak at the time that we started. And then towards like our third round of it, the market crashed. So just the simple fact that the value of the currency really fluctuates, that really controls how much money, like USD, that you can make from this. And when the market crashed, a bunch of people lost a bunch of money, a bunch of people left the space. And now if you're gonna start a new project, it is a lot more difficult to get it off the ground and do something crazy successful. But it's such a huge chunk of my income from this year, I had to let you guys know that if there's somebody out there that has an insane idea that could change lives or just really knows what they're doing and you get inspired by this, then go for it. But just use caution, that's all I'm saying. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but you can get rich quick. So do what you want with that information. But yeah, I mean, that kind of wraps up my top 5 things that I currently am actually making money from. But there's a ton. I mean, I've done videos on it in the past. Like I started selling beats on BeatStars. You can sell beats, you can work with artists, you can get placements, you can do work for hire work. If you play guitar, if you play piano, You can make samples for a living. You can go on Fiverr. There's a lot of opportunities on Fiverr. You can be a guy that plays guitar on other people's tracks, a few $100s a time. But the whole point of this video is just get creative. Don't let anybody say like, oh, you can't make money in music, because it's definitely possible, but it is very, very hard. And a lot of the things I've mentioned are all based on being someone like me who is very content savvy, I would say. Like, I've been making videos like forever. I have a lot of know-how with that kind of stuff. So if you're somebody who doesn't like being in front of a camera and creating content, a lot of these things that I said here that I'm making money off might not even apply to you. But that being said, if you really want to make money, you might want to get on camera. So take what you want from that info. But yeah, I think that's it. That wraps it up. So thanks for watching. If you guys would like to help me continue make money, go on my website, cop some sample packs, stream my music. I can't do it without you guys. So thank you guys for paying my rent. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. And hopefully I can come up with some more ideas for you guys to make money, and maybe we'll make some money together. Who knows? But peace out. Stay positive.